20 huge, dare I say huge, mistakes made by actual people. I'm getting all this from Reddit. Reddit. A lot of good information on there, guys, if you can weed through some of the not so good information. Hey, guys, leave me comments. What has been your biggest retirement mistake? For those of you that are retired already, let us know. And I got to tell you, there's a lot out of these 20 that I had never heard of before, and some are pretty good / funny, but some are actually really good to learn from. I'd never heard of some of these, so stay tuned. Here we go. Number 1, this woman said her mother said to expect a large inheritance when they passed on, her and her father's. Guess what? It didn't happen, and because she expected it, she never saved. Her mother actually died, and then her father spent most of the money in order to woo younger women to marry him, which eventually they did. She got nothing when her father passed away years later. So because of that, she never saved for retirement. Guys, now, yes, I've heard of that before, but not in actual black and white like this one is. That's crazy, right? Hey, save, save, save. No matter what anyone tells you, even family. Hey, sorry about the background here, but my girlfriend has still not decided what color she's going to paint her interior of her house, so she still has swatches of paint all over the place, except for this little boring area. So those of you who know her, tell her to get on the move on, man. Number 2, this woman, and I'll be going up and down, so I'll be looking up and down a lot, so don't get too dizzy. Number 2, this woman never had good teeth. But she chose a modest retirement dental plan. Because of that, she has spent thousands of dollars out of pocket on her teeth in retirement. When if she had got a good dental plan, it wouldn't have been nearly so much. Hadn't heard that one before. Makes sense, though. Number 3, a man sold his Chevron stock on the advice of his sneaky, smelly financial advisor in order to diversify. So he told him to sell his Chevron stock years ago, and now he wishes he never did. Yeah, bad mistake, you stinky advisor, you. Next one. This couple wanted to experience living in a warmer state. Okay, a lot of people do, right? I mean, let's say you live in Minnesota your whole life, you want to retire to Florida. Makes sense. But they moved without doing much research. After they were there for 6 or 8 months, 8 months, they hated it. They sold their home at a loss and they moved back to the colder state from where they came from. Okay, it goes without saying, right? If you're moving sight unseen, what do you think might happen? Now, you might get lucky, right? You might get lucky. You might love the place, but you might not. This couple found out the hard way. What am I on, 4 or 5? I think I'm on 5. Okay, this guy, tell me what you think of this guy, guys, because the next 3 points are all from this guy. Is he smart or is he just a little off? I can't decide. This man discovered that leisure and solo hobbies done 12 hours a day sucks the fun out of it. Now, he has moved it back to maybe 8 or 9 hours a day. So his advice is to do it moderately or else it's not going to be fun anymore. Okay, I guess, but if you really love something, are you going to put a time limit on it? I know I'm not. This next one is from this same guy as well. He went crazy on travel early on in his retirement, which sucked up a lot of his money. Now he doesn't have as much as he thought he would 10 years down the road. Okay, well, that's just bad planning, right? And here's the last one from the same guy. I think this guy's pretty impulsive, actually, is what it is. He sold his house and bought an RV to live in full time. It only lasted 2 years when he figured out he didn't like retired living. He didn't like RV living full time on the road. Now he's looking for another house. Sounds to me like maybe a problem with just the guy, right? Hey, for those of you who see me for the first time, my name is Duane, and this is a retirement channel for people on moderate income. If that's something you like, think about subscribing and like the video as well. Next one. A couple kept their huge home only because they were hoping that it would make the kids and the grandkids visit more. Turns out they didn't. Years down the road, They realized it wasn't going to happen, and they've kept this expensive house and utilities, property taxes just because of that. Hey, what do you do with that? I get it. It's hopeful, right? Wishful thinking. They're hoping maybe this will induce them to visit them more often than they thought they would. I get it. But hey, it's a decision you got to make. Maybe move to where they are. I don't know. I don't have kids. I don't know. Next one. A man forced himself to do volunteer work for years because he thought that's what retirement is all about. That's what he was told. He hated it. Now he's not doing so much volunteer work and he's more happy. Okay, guys, it's your retirement, right? Yes, there are things that people say, this is what retirement is all about. This is what you should do. Does that mean you have to do it? If you don't like it, don't do it, right? Here is a woman who said, now this is an obvious one. This happens to a lot of people. Here is a woman who said she should have thought more about the non-financial aspects of retirement than the financial ones. Now she's bored and is pulling out her hair because she has nothing to do. That's an obvious one. We can skip right by that. I'm sure you've heard that one 100 times. Number 10 or 11, whatever it is. Here's a man who said he should have retired 5 years early, but was scared to do it. Now his health is not what it was 5 years ago, and he can't do some of the things that he wanted to do. So guys, if you are on the fence about retiring or not, and you are financially set to retire, do not, please, I beg of you, do not put it off anymore, okay? You will probably regret it 10, 15 years down the line. Just do it. Take the jump, the plunge. And for those of you who haven't retired yet, just start researching a couple years before you retire on things to do in retirement, how you're going to spend your time, what you're going to do, places to live, all that stuff. If you just spend time thinking about what you're going to do a couple years beforehand, by the time you get there, you won't be scared or you won't be trembling with fear. Just make the jump, guys. You won't regret it. Next one. Here is a man who borrowed 3 times from his 401k while working, and now he really regrets it because he thinks he has half the money that he could have retired on without borrowing 3 times from his 401k. Now, what I've always said, what I did once, just once, is I took a loan to pay a down payment on a house. Okay, I think that's okay to do. Okay, this guy did it 3 times though, 3 different loans. That's going overboard. Okay, along the same lines, here's another man who liquidated his I always love that word, liquidated his $200,000 401k early on in his working career. He must have started earlier, had a high-paying job, because that's a lot to have early on in your working career. He also didn't contribute for years afterwards, and now he's still working in his early 60s. Okay, there's another thing. What do you do? I mean, young and dumb, right? I didn't start saving until I was 40 years old, right? Young and dumb. If I would have started even at 30, forget about 25, I would be in a much better space. I wouldn't be a moderate income retiree, right? Next one. Here's a woman who wishes she'd upgraded her stove, refrigerator, washer and dryer before retiring. Now, a couple years into it, all of them have to be replaced, and she can't pay for all of them. She has to put some of them on a payment plan. Now, that one's kind of weird. I mean, you're able to access your retirement money, okay? So it's not like, in my case, I had trouble saving outside of retirement savings when I was still working, okay? But now you have access to the retirement money. So why can't you pay for them all in full? I don't get it. Anyway, now she has to pay for them all in retirement when she should have done it before retirement. So she didn't have to worry about this thing. Number 15, I believe. Yeah. Here's a man who would not have got a dog in retirement. Okay, guys, this is my dilemma, okay? I want a large dog so bad, but as I've said before on here, my girlfriend doesn't want it in her house here with all the paint swatches. So I can't get one because I'm down here a couple weeks a month, okay? I don't want to just leave my dog with someone, all right? So I'm in a dilemma. But this guy, he said it's held him back from taking long vacations. Okay, I get it. You could put him in a kennel, I guess, but he doesn't feel comfortable doing that. Now, is that a popular opinion? Is that good? Tell me what you guys think. I mean, would that hold you back from just getting a pet because you can't take long vacations? I guess it depends on the kind of pet, right? I mean, cats are easier to do that with than dogs, I've heard. Next one. Okay, this one kind of indirectly deals with retirement. This guy said he really, really regrets hiding his money and his assets before getting divorced later in life. They found him. Okay, so number one, he got divorced and he's left with probably half of what he had just before retirement. But also, was there a penalty? I don't know. It didn't say. Did he legally have to pay in some way because he hid assets? Probably. Doesn't say in here. That's a funny one, though. Not for him, but for us. Next one. Here's a woman who regrets that she was way too conservative spending early in retirement. And now later on in retirement, she's comfortable spending more, but the thing she wanted to spend it on, long travel, she's not healthy enough to do anymore. So, guys, hey, the go-go years, right? Take advantage of those go-go years. Okay, now here's one, not one, but a lot of these comments I saw on Reddit, there were a lot of them that wished they had invested in Roth accounts earlier on. Lots of people that came up with, okay? Number 19. Here's a couple who says they should have bought a one-story house 20 years ago when they actually bought their house. Now, they're both in their 70s and it's hard to get up and down the stairs and they don't want to sell their house. Okay, hindsight, yeah. And number 20. Here is a man who downsized to a great condo in a great area. But in the ensuing years, the HOA and cost of living has gone way up in that area and the place that he bought the condo. So now he can't afford it. So he has to move again. Okay, that one, I mean, what do you do? Some places take off, right? Real estate wise, cost of living, they get popular. A lot of coastal places especially. So what do you do in that? Hindsight, I guess. Or he didn't research it good enough. So there you go, guys. There are 20 huge, dare I say huge, retirement mistakes made by actual people. Hopefully those are some you hadn't heard of. I hadn't heard of some of them, and a couple were actually funny. And as always, not from the lovely high desert, but from the boring outside of downtown LA. We got this.